In October, there were yellow trees. Then the clocks went back the hour, and the long November winds came in and blew and stripped the trees bare. In the town of New Ross, chimneys threw out smoke, which fell away and drifted off in hairy, drawn-out strings before dispersing along the quays, and soon the River Barrow, dark as stout, swelled up with rain. That is the first paragraph of this book called Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan. It's set in 1985 in Ireland. That first paragraph sucked me right in. This is a beautifully written book. It's about 114 pages. You can easily read it in an afternoon. It's set right before Christmas time. I think that if you only read one book this year, make it this one, because Small Things Like These is a beautiful book and worth a large readership. Thanks very much. This is Diane. See you next time.
Hi, I'm Patty Pennick, Head of Youth Services at the Goffstown Public Library, and today I have picked, I think, a very special book as my pick of the week. It is called, ready for it, A History of Underwear with Professor Chicken. Now, the title totally drew me in when I first saw this. It made me laugh, but the content didn't disappoint. And in fact, I think, although it is listed as a picture book, a fiction picture book, it actually has some really interesting data and facts about the history of underwear. So if you and yours are interested to find out about underwear, please come to the library and check out this book.
Hi everyone, this is Stacy from Teen Services. I want to talk to you about one of my favorite book series. It's a trilogy of books, The Inheritance Game, and the reason I want to talk about it today is because I just started book number 2, The Hawthorne Legacy, and book number 3 is going to be out in August. It's called The Final Gambit, so that will be ending the trilogy. So for everybody who would like to know about it a little bit, it's kind of Knives Out meets Clue. Avery, who's our main character, she sometimes is living with her sister, sometimes living with her in her car, and all of a sudden she gets a windfall of an inheritance from a guy she doesn't even know exists. And she's whisked off to this Texas mansion where she is now found out that she has taken over the inheritance away from the family of Tobias Hawthorne. So there's lots of tricks, lots of clues, and a huge mystery of why he even picked Avery. And if you want to know what it is, you have to read the series.
In talking in a recent program about the crisis in the Ukraine, we talked about the number of refugees that are coming from that area, 4 million as of this taping. And it made me think about a novel that I'd read about another refugee crisis, the Syrian refugee crisis. It's called The Wrong End of the Telescope by Rabi Al-Madin. Sensationally well written. It is slightly confusing. Don't let that disturb you. Who the narrator is and who he's talking to is not entirely clear, but the payoff and the understanding that I got of what it must be like to have to leave your home with nothing came from this book. The Wrong End of the Telescope. Check it out if you're up for an adventuresome read.
Hey everyone, I am Rob. I'm the Technical Services Librarian at Goffstown Library. The book today I'm recommending is Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Caesar. It's basically about a young woman and her father who moved from the big city to a small town in the Midwest. They kind of come upon a town that's in decline once the corn syrup factory has closed. And then the factory had a mascot named Friendo, who was a clown. Someone, either Friendo or someone is dressing up as him and going around killing people. If you like horror, it's very good. It moves along really fast. It kind of reads like a movie like Scream. It's also kind of timely. It's kind of about people in the town who want the traditions versus people who want to move forward. I strongly recommend it. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Liz Erickson, new addition to the Adult Services team, and my pick of the week is a new favorite that I'd like to share, Clara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro. This is one of my favorite books that I've read in quite some time. I would call it a speculative fiction novel. It's set in a near future world where artificial friends, or robots, are available to be bought to be companions for children. So the story follows one of these artificial friends and is narrated by her, Clara. And Clara goes home with a sickly little girl, and we learn more about the society and everything that's going on through Clara's very surprisingly childlike point of view. But if you are a fan of Kazuo Ishiguro, you will know that what really makes this book special is the writing. He did win a Nobel Prize after all. The writing in this book is beautiful. It's lyrical and it's poetic and it's a little bit fairy tale. And what I love most about it is the way that so much goes unsaid. There's this growing sense of unease as you learn like bits and pieces about the society, especially their relationship with technology and what it might have cost them. It's kind of reminiscent of his very famous earlier book, Never Let Me Go, sort of growing sense of suspense and not quite knowing what's going on. And then in addition to that, you're never quite sure if Clara is fully understanding what's happening. So you're filtering everything through her point of view as well. So I would highly recommend this book for anyone who's a fan of Kazuo Ishiguro's earlier works, or anyone who's a fan of Jeff Vandermeer or Nnedi Okorafor.